a modern one-woman variety show. This show is meant to give me some variety.
A full sensory experience.
The Freya Show!
This is the intro to the show.
Not only do I want to be inspirational and motivational and insightful, I also want to be entertaining, because that's who Freya is. She's an entertainer. Years of theater school, years of dance class, years of performance arts. That's what the Free to Be Freya show is all about. Expressing yourself unapologetically in your fully weird ass way, whatever that is.
I wanted to make a show that I wanted to watch. So I was thinking to myself, what would I want to watch? I would want to watch somebody who was just being their real self, who wasn't here to necessarily teach me anything, but maybe indirectly I cultivated some authenticity within myself.
I hope that there is nothing else like what I'm about to do in this show that exists on YouTube anyway. It might even feel a little bit like a kid's show for adults.
Every episode is going to have a theme. This one is authenticity, because that's the reason why I'm making this show. And as I mentioned, every show is going to have a theme, but every show is going to have a structure as well. Because, well, I like structure. I need some structure. Plus, it's nice to know what to expect when you tune in. And as I noted, every episode is going to start with a theme. Today's theme is authenticity. Then I'm going to talk about authenticity a bunch, followed by a little show and tell on something that relates to the theme, followed by reading from a book that speaks to the theme. And then I'm going to play a song that speaks to the theme, finishing off with some movement or stretches or dances that relate to the theme.
Will this show be funny? Well, no. I'm just being myself. And sometimes when you be yourself, sometimes that comes across a little comical. And if you think this is a comedy act, well, cool, great.
I want to create a community of people who are free to be themselves, free to be Frank, free to be Susan,
Free to be Lucy,
free to be James,
free to be Francine, Frank,
free to be John,
free to be Jennifer,
free to be Joaquin,
free to be genuine and authentic, free to be you.
whatever your name is. Community, bringing in individuals together as one.
We're not here to be someone else. We are here to be authentically who we are meant to be. And who are you meant to be? Well, I hope this show helps you to discover who you are. Who is your own real authentic being that's been hiding out in there?
To normalize our unique selves, to no longer be a conformist, to no longer be following the pack. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of lone wolves out there that are going to be watching this show.
We all need change. Change is the only constant thing in the world. The content that I've been creating was very educational, very useful, help people change their lives. The content I want to create is still going to do that, but on a different level. I feel like I grew up with shows like this.
This is a time for you to sit down with your coffee or your tea or your matcha like you would with your bestie, but not the kind of bestie that comes over and hangs out. The kind of bestie that does their own thing, separate, but feel together apart.
Who knows? Maybe one day I'll have an actual big show where I'll have guests on. And maybe you'll be one of them.
Let's begin the show. I wanted to start talking about authenticity because I've heard, maybe you have too, that apparently authenticity is the highest vibration that you can operate at. And what does that mean? Does that mean you're being your real self all the time? I guess so. Just means somebody who is very real. They emit a very high frequency, a high energy. People who are on the low end of the energy frequency scale, they might not be as authentic. Okay, So let's break this down a little bit. Okay. The highest frequency, according to David Hawkins, is enlightenment. Enlightenment. So are people who are authentic also enlightened? Not necessarily. For me, if you are authentic, it means you're authentic with every state of your being. Even if you're down at the lowest state of feeling shame and feeling guilt, you are real about that. Like you are honest about it. You own it. You take responsibility for it. You recognize that you are down there in the pits of despair. Okay. And the key is without judgment, because we will all find ourselves in the pit of despair at least once, if not 10 times in our life or more. It also means that if you are angry, you are authentically angry without harming other people, because that's not necessary. You can express your anger in a healthy way. It's like being able to express all of your emotions in a healthy way, and also being emotionally available, like being emotionally mature, being open to all the emotions, because that's what a real person would do. A real person wouldn't deny their feelings. A real person wouldn't minimize their feelings, and a real person wouldn't blame their feelings on someone else. So if you're authentic, you are totally taking charge for everything that's happening to you. And not only that, like in order to take responsibility for everything that's happening to you, you have to be aware of it. You need to have the awareness that that is happening, that you are feeling that way. And some people are not. Some people are out there unaware, unconscious, out of touch with themselves. But the people who are in touch with themselves, those are the most authentic people, in my opinion. You can tell me what you think.
It's time for show and tell. It's time for show and tell. It's time for show and tell.
I'm going to reveal to you something of my youth. Was an authentic thing to do. I don't know why this came to me, but here it is. Have you ever seen one of these? This is called a baton. It is a metal bar with two rubber knobby ends. One is bigger than the other. Why is that? Well, it has to do with the balancing of this baton. And the baton can be used for many things. Some may join a little march with the baton. And I used to appear in many parades over the years with bands and other performers of whatever things go on in parades. Santa Claus parade mostly. We would do this movement. Note the movement. Ba-dum, ba-dum. I guess it kind of resembles maybe like, what do you call those people who are like out of a castle? The knights of a castle who wear the big puffy hats. I feel like they hold something. I can't remember what the thing's called, but it's like that. Of course, there is twirling that goes on with the baton. And twirling, whoops-a-doo, a little twirl for you. This is called a pinwheel. You do it on both sides, okay? This is my left side. I'm kind of hitting my arm. Can I tell you the last time was that I did this move? It's been a while. This would be a popular one you would do. And then guess what? You can even throw it and catch it in the other arm and carry on. Oof. That is some skill. Dun, 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 dun. A lot of marching that goes on in baton twirling, I noticed. Because if you're twirling a baton, you know, maybe you could do a little like this. Like this was probably one of my best moves. And you could do a little, hey, thank you very much. My sister also took baton. And so she started when she was like 3, and they would do little cutesy moves like this. What does this have to do with authenticity? Who comes out, you know, when you come over and they're like, hey, want to see me twirl my baton? Like nobody does that. What some people would say is weird, but not weird. It's cool and authentic and real. Yes, so there you have it. All right. Now for the book reading portion of the show. This book I'm reading is called The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Ruben. We are all innately creators. We are creative. That is part of who you are when you are authentically expressing yourself. You have created the realest version of you through expression of whatever it is. Like how you just saw me twirling a baton around. What I'm going to read to you from The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Ruben is actually the first chapter. But I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but I might. These chapters are not even long. This is like literally 2 pages. Everyone is a creator. Those who do not engage in the traditional arts might be wary of calling themselves artists. They might perceive creativity as something extraordinary or beyond their capabilities, a calling for the special few who were born with these gifts. Fortunately, this is not the case. Creativity is not a rare ability. It is not difficult to access. Creativity is a fundamental aspect of being human, and it's for all of us. Creativity doesn't exclusively relate to making art. We all engage in this act on a daily basis. To create is to bring something into existence that wasn't there before. It could be a conversation, the solution to a problem, a note to a friend, the rearrangement of furniture, a new route home to avoid a traffic jam. What you make doesn't have to be witnessed, recorded, sold, or encased in glass for it to be a work of art. Though the ordinary state of being, we're already creators in the most profound way, creating our experience of reality and composing the world we perceive. We are creating the world that we live in. In each moment, we are immersed in a field of indifferentiated matter from which our senses gather bits of information. The outside universe we perceive doesn't exist as such. Through a series of electrical and chemical reactions, we generate a reality internally. We create forests and oceans, warmth and cold. We read words, hear voices, and form interpretations. Then, in an instant, we produce a response. All of this in a world of our own creation. Regardless of whether or not we're formally making art, we are all living as artists. We perceive, filter, collect data, then curate an experience for ourselves and others based on this information set. That's kind of what I'm doing right now, is curating an experience. And it requires a level of creativity to do this. Whether we do this consciously or unconsciously, by the mere fact of being alive, we are active participants in the ongoing process of creation. I skip over a little bit, and then his last paragraph says, a tune choice by a tune choice. Your entire life is a form of self-expression. You exist as a creative being in a creative universe, a singular work of art. Yes. You know, if that's the universe, there you are. There's a lot of those out there. Now, for my favorite part of the show, which is music. And what comes after the music part in the show is movement. And guess what goes so well together? Music and movement. I don't yet quite know if I put music in my show, if it will be muted or not. So this is a test.
It's time for the movement part. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time.
The movement that I'm going to suggest to you, because it's only just a suggestion, you can do whatever move you wish. This movement is very simple. All it is an expansion of your being and a contraction. Expanding and contracting. Opening and closing. Getting bigger getting smaller. However, which way you'd like to do this. It's very much an energetic movement where you can feel literally the expansion of energy that you are creating in between your hands. The focus is on the hands and the arms, leading from the heart center of your being. And the song that I'm going to put on is very freeing. It's very vocal. It's very emotive. And then I'm going to play another song afterwards. It's a little bit more upbeat and it's going to get your booty shaking. And so you can do whatever moves you like, and you can even still do the moves with the understanding of this opening and closing, and how that really activates your energetic chi, life force energy that is authentically yours.
Everybody's free. Everybody's free. Everybody's free. Everybody's free. Everybody's free. To feel good. To feel good. Everybody's
Live fully, love fiercely, and always be free to be you. Till next time.
The Freya Show.